Hello, my name is Ria Shelton, and the following is a short presentation on verbal and visual word associations, an evidence-based strategy for teaching vocabulary to students with disabilities. Links have been found between vocabulary deficiencies and low academic performance. This most likely has to do with the fact that research shows a direct correlation between learning vocabulary and reading comprehension directly affects overall academic success. After all, students can't comprehend what they are reading if they don't know what the words mean. Vocabulary needs to be taught early, constantly, and intensely in order to ensure efficient learning. Repeated exposure is required for long-term memory storage of new words. And because vocabulary acquisition is such a noteworthy aspect of reading comprehension, targeted and explicit teaching strategies should be implemented across all grades and disciplines. Vocabulary interventions can help address the gap between struggling and non-struggling readers. As they progress through school, struggling readers are exposed to fewer words due to lack of reading. It is imperative that interventions are implemented as early as possible. Research shows that students who exhibit lower reading proficiency by fourth grade are at a higher risk for academic deficiencies. Struggling readers often have difficulties with understanding syllables and sounds of words. Therefore, vocabulary instruction for struggling readers must include these areas to increase their reading fluency and comprehension. Struggling readers can be students diagnosed with a reading-related disability, but can also be students without a disability who simply have difficulties with reading. Students with learning disabilities, language impairments, and/or hearing impairments are likely to struggle with reading. 80% of learning disabilities have revealed themselves as reading difficulties, yet studies have shown that only about 4% of students receive special education services specifically for reading disabilities. Students with disabilities and struggling readers show continuous progress from more intensive strategies for reading comprehension. The verbal and visual word association strategy is an evidence-based strategy that breaks down the meaning of a word. It is best exhibited through the Freyer Model Graphic Organizer. It provides multiple perspectives in different contexts. It displays in-depth, relatable meanings of words, and it checks the student's understanding of the word. Verbal and visual word associations is a great strategy for helping students with disabilities improve their reading comprehension. When paired together with explicit instruction practices, which provide educators with structured yet adaptable instructional design, additional benefits emerge. Students show an increase in vocabulary through its engaging practices. It helps to address the areas of need for struggling readers, such as determining word meaning through contextual cues. It provides deeper relating of vocabulary to the text. Through its three-step approach in furnishing a lesson, explicit instruction provides repeated exposure to new words, which builds fluency and essential for reading comprehension. The I do, we do, you do approach shows students clearly what they're expected to learn and gives them opportunities to practice and demonstrate learning under supportive conditions, which in turn builds confidence and promotes more successful learning. To implement the verbal and visual word association strategy, educators can use the Freyer Model Graphic Organizer. The Freyer model was created by Dorothy Freyer in 1969 and displays four concepts around a word: a paraphrase definition, characteristics and/or facts, examples, and non-examples. Students can use words or pictures to complete each box. The next 4 slides walk you through the steps for completing one. Follow each of these for the I do, we do, and you do steps as outlined in explicit instruction. Some tips for selecting vocabulary words to use are: choose words that relate to the current curriculum, either to a specific lesson or book you may be reading. Choose words that students don't know in order to expand their vocabulary. Choose challenging words that inspire critical thinking in students. Choose words that students are more than likely to use as their conversations mature. To begin, write out the word. In the Freyer model, the word is written in the center of the diagram. Have students say and/or sound out the word. Next, look up the proper definition and have students read it or read along. Ensure you identify the part of speech. Take the opportunity to discuss the grammatical properties of the particular part of speech. building on students' prior knowledge. In order to ensure comprehension of the definition itself, instruct students to summarize the definition in their own words to a short phrase of 10 words or less. You can modify this if needed. Next, list or draw characteristics or facts about the word. This helps students retrieve their prior knowledge. Now, students can practice with application and create a sentence using the new word. To deepen comprehension by providing an alternative context, discuss antonyms of the new word and then create a non-example sentence. For instance, a non-example sentence for the word ambiguous would be, "The man gave specific details about the car that crashed into him." Finally, check the student's understanding by reviewing each part of the completed Frayer model. Now, to provide more of a real-world application, the next slide shows a screencast of myself and a student using the verbal and visual word association strategy by working on a Frayer model together. This is showing the we do step in explicit instruction. In this scenario, the student is in an 11th grade English class for remedial readers. The class is reading Rules of the Road by Joan Bauer. The student was instructed to read chapters 1 through 5 and make a list of any words from the text that she struggled with.
Okay, so now we're going to do a Frayer model together using another one of your words. And for this one, we're going to use the word prejudice. Let's say prejudice together. Prejudice. Okay, and in the book, prejudice is used as a noun, which is a
person, place, or thing.
Great. Okay, and you don't know the definition, so we looked it up in the dictionary, and what did you find?
An unfavorable opinion or feeling formed beforehand or without knowledge, thought, or reason. Any preconceived opinion or feeling, either favorable or unfavorable.
Okay, so after reading that, can you come up with a definition in your own words?
Yes, you can say a negative opinion made without knowledge.
Without knowledge. Good. Good. A negative opinion made without knowledge. Very good. So now we'll move over to the next box, and here we list out characteristics and facts about prejudice. Now that you have a definition in your own words, can you come up with some words or phrases that you can associate with prejudice?
Yes. One could be someone being mean.
Being mean, okay. What else?
Assuming things.
Assuming things, right. Because you don't have any knowledge about that person or thing, and you're just making assumptions.
Correct.
Okay. Anything else?
Another one is causing arguments.
Causing arguments. Yeah. Is that it?
One more you can say would be dividing people.
Dividing people. Yeah, definitely. Okay, great. Now we'll go down to examples, and here we're going to put together a sentence using the word prejudice. Can you come up with something?
Yes. You can say he announced his prejudice and caused a fight to break out.
Caused a fight to break out. He announced his prejudice and caused a fight to break out, right? So he made it known he had a prejudice and people took offense to that, and it caused probably some arguments.
Correct.
Right? And a fight broke out. Good. Okay, so now we'll go to the last box, and we're going to come up with a sentence that means the opposite of prejudice. And to help us out with that, we're going to list out some antonyms. So what would be the opposite of prejudice?
One example you can say is being respectful.
Respectful. Great. Yep, respectful.
Another one is being fair.
Fair, okay. And something else that's non-prejudice.
Having acceptance.
Acceptance, yes, very good. Okay, so how about a sentence? Think about it.
Well, you can say the teacher treated everyone equally.
The teacher treated everyone equally. Right. The teacher was not prejudiced. The teacher was respectful, fair, accepting, and treated everyone equally.
Correct.
Great job.
The verbal and visual word association strategy provides the intensive instruction needed to address the vocabulary skills struggling readers lack for good reading comprehension. It provides the tools for students to learn deeper meaning of words by forcing students to think about them in different contexts. When paired with explicit instruction, it provides necessary interventions. And it has been shown to improve vocabulary learning for students with disabilities. In a meta-analysis conducted by Dexter and Hughes, it was concluded that by using graphic organizers, students with learning disabilities improved their factual comprehension across all subjects, including reading and vocabulary. This indicates that implementing the verbal and visual word association strategy with its use of the Freyer Model graphic organizer is effective for students with disabilities. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. Thank you for watching.